another guy that came in. Had 28 carries, 107 yards.
Appreciate it for the opportunity, man. Let's get ready.
Family at 3. 1, 2, 3.
Weekend Warriors. Of course, that was the Packers locker room celebration. Emmanuel Wilson tops the list here, 28 carries. Then if Packers are going to do anything, they're going to establish it. 107 yards, and most importantly, Matthew, the 2 scores.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. One of them was, kind of a bunny thing, but career high 30 touches, got 77% of the team's running back touches in a tough matchup here. Emmanuel Wilson, we expect Josh Jacobs back this week. Obviously, it's a short week, but if Jacobs can't go, Emmanuel Wilson proves that, he was the guy. So he's one of the reasons why we talked about last Tuesday, he is the waiver pickup of the week. You can start him. I think I had him at running back 13 this week. As we head into Monday Night Football, he's running back 2 on a points-per-game basis. Turns out I was high on him and not high enough.
Indeed. Also, America's national nightmare is cured. The Packers finally took care of business against a team they're better than.
Yes.
It wasn't a close game in the fourth quarter against the Panthers or the Browns or the Bengals. They finally just blew a team out. Yeah,
yes.
The JJ effect.
Are you finally out on Jordan Love, though?
No, he was very efficient in his game. He just didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, he's just not a good fantasy option.
Yeah.
He's better real-life quarterback.
Yeah. He's an EPA machine.
Speaking of American nightmares, Ashton Jeanty with a good fantasy today.
Yes,
Everybody relax.
sure.
Not on the ground.
No.
Chip Kelly, by the way, fired last night. But 8 receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown, Jay, is what gets it done for Jeanty.
Yeah, I mean, it's volume, and that's all
Right.
that's really going to do it for him at the moment because that offense, that team is just completely broken. Now, maybe with Chip gone, something can change, but I don't think anything's really changing with the offensive line or with Geno. So Ashton Jeanty, good fantasy day, bad day overall football-wise, and the team's a mess.
The Raiders don't have a lot to bank on, but look, again, it's the Josie theory. Get the ball to your best player. 25 touches for Ashton Jeanty last week on Sunday. That was a season high. He's now had 18 or more touches in 6 of the past 8 games. You figure that whoever is replacing Chip Kelly says, all right, let's just figure out a way to get the ball in Jeanty's hands.
The Browns, by the way, the most relevant 3-8 team in NFL history. Myles Garrett chasing the sack record, Carson Schlesinger, D-Roy favorite, and Shedeur Sanders is a national story.
Our next one, Derrick Henry, Matthew, really just because of the touchdowns. 21 carries, 64 yards, but he got in the end zone twice on a sluggish day for the Ravens offense.
First time this season with back-to-back 20-point games for Derrick Henry. We've talked about his schedule quite a lot. Bengals next, then the Steelers at Cincinnati again. So Cincinnati 2 of the next 3. So King Henry, if you've stuck with him. But, yeah, it was ugly. Without the touchdowns, he's just nothing. Also, the whole Ravens offense, we'll talk about Lamar in a second, it's
why is King Henry averaging 3 yards a carry?
It's unbelievable.
Against the Jets. It took over 85.5 rushing yards. You told me he gets 21 carries against the Jets. I'd assume he sails over by 40 yards.
He
and
had
no efficiency.
He had a big one towards the end of the game. Before that, he was in the 30-something yards. It was
Jets were playing tough.
Yep.
They showed some heart out there.
Yeah. Welcome back, Hunter Henry, the king of the waiver wires. Caught 7 of 10 targets for 115 yards and a touchdown. As you said, Matthew, start the tight ends against the Bengals. They're the worst defense against tight ends in the league.
First time scoring double-digit fantasy points since week 4. I think this is hey, we thought he'd be good against the Bengals. He was good against the Bengals. He can go back to your bench or waiver wire. Yeah.
Yep. Caleb Williams and DJ Moore, Jay. Caleb Williams much better in the second half than the first half for DJ Moore. Caught 5 of 7 targets, and he had 2 touchdowns. Such
a strange team. Caleb's stats great overall, but also goes 19 for 35 against not a great pass defense. DJ Moore finally awakens. The Bears are kind of a version of the Patriots where they have all these guys, but you just don't know any idea. There's no rhyme or reason week to week. Dunze, Moore, backfield mess. Don't have a great feel for this team.
DeAndre Swift had a bad fumble in this game, and Kyle Monange took over the backfield from that time. We'll talk about him more tomorrow, I'm sure, as well. But I think there might be a changing of the guard. We'll see if that was just sort of a one-time, hey, you fumbled, we're going to play the rookie, or it's just you know what, Monange's given him kind of a spark ever since he's gotten an opportunity. He gets into the end zone as well. But Caleb continues to put up fantasy points. It's ugly. The fumble was brutal, but they end up with a win over the Steelers.
We're going to learn a lot about Caleb in this offense next 2 weeks. Eagles and Packers both on the road.
Right, correct.
They may not have played a good defense really outside of the Vikings all year.
And then home to Cleveland, and then home to the Packers again.
Yeah.
So the next 4 is an unbelievable stretch, a tough one there for the Bears.
So we're there.
And DJ Moore, 23% target share. There's a season high. Only his 3rd game this year with a more than 20% target share, but quietly 22 or more fantasy points in 2 of the last 4 for DJ Moore. Finally getting into that wide receiver 3 status that we thought he could be.
Our last weekend warrior, Matthew, Devontae Adams, all he does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fifth straight game with a touchdown. He's got 9 total touchdowns in the stretch, 11 end zone targets the last 5. I don't know if you saw it, but Jason Garrett interviewed Matthew Stafford, and he just, before the game on Football Night in America, and Stafford was just like, when they came to Davante Adams, he just said, his red zone ability is like nothing I've ever seen. And it was just,
it's
it
amazing.
was the first and goal in the 2, and I'm like, oh, they're giving it to Kyron Williams, because I had a Matthew Stafford as part of my parlay, was 2 touchdowns for Stafford. It's like, nope. Quick little fade to Davante Adams, boom, touchdown.
It is crazy how the fade pass to Davante at the goal line is literally their version of the tush push.
Yeah. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.